Drei grosse Namen von der Tenniswelt waren zu Bahrami für den TTL Open. Ein paar Schüler vom jungen Lycée von Stich waren während 2 Stunden Journalisten und hatten die Tennisspieler zu interviewen. Daraufhin wollten sie wissen, für was diejenigen sich für Tennis entschieden und mit welchem Alter sie Profis sind.
At my time, there was soccer or tennis, and I played both till I was 18. And then I decided I was a little bit better in tennis than in soccer, and I tried to make the job as a tennis professional, but there was no guarantee. So basically, I loved playing tennis. It's a great game. It's a great sport. It's an individual sport, which is very different to a team sport, obviously, because you only be responsible for yourself, for winning and losing, which makes it sometimes tough, sometimes easier, but that's why I choose tennis, and I loved it. I loved playing, competing, and obviously winning more than losing.
My father was a gardener in the biggest sport complex in Iran, in Tehran, and our house was in the sport complex, and I started going to the swimming pool, you know, to the football and basketball, everything, and when I went to the tennis, they kicked me out. They said, "You cannot come here." So I keep coming back, and sometimes they give me like a spank, you know, and they said out. And finally they said, "You can only come here as a ball boy. You can ball boy for the rich people." So the court was reserved for the rich people, and I was not a rich man. So just because they said, "You cannot come here to play tennis," then I said, okay, this must be my sport. I started going out of my country when I was 17, but when I was 20, everything stopped. So I couldn't play tennis anymore because tennis was forbidden in Iran, because the Ayatollah said that this is an imperialist, capitalist game we don't want. So I stayed for 3 years and a half. I didn't hit one ball. I didn't play at all. And then at age 24, I left my home country for good this time, and I came to France, and I started playing again.
I decided a little bit earlier because I was one of the best 12, 14, 16, 18 in the world in that age groups. So, but that does not guarantee you anything.
Quelles sont pour vous les grandes différences entre le tennis quand vous avez commencé et aujourd'hui?
When I started playing tennis, you used to play with the racket, wooden racket, which was like 500 grams. That is a very big change. Today's rackets are like 250, 260, 300 grams. You cannot break the racket unless if you just hit it on the ground. The frames are larger, and the strings have changed a lot. You can, even as an old man like I am today, I can hit my service maybe faster today than when I was 25.
What was the most memorable game you played?
For me, all my wins about Goran. The Wimbledon finals, obviously, because it was the biggest win in my tennis career. Then the Davis Cup. As we are an individual sport, it's so important to be part of a team that is successful, so that was very important to me. Also the Olympic Games. I mean, I was lucky enough to win the gold medal at the Olympic Games.
Almost the same, Wimbledon #1, and for me Olympic Games, especially '92, because that time Croatia was the first time competing in Olympic Games, and I won 2 medals, bronze medals.
How hard was it to stop playing tennis, or professional tennis, at such a young age?
I stopped quite young. I was 29, and it was due to injuries and also because I didn't enjoy the traveling too much anymore. It was a combination of a lot of things. For me, it was not so hard. For me, it was something I knew was going to happen some stage anyway, because as you said, it's a limited time. You can be a tennis professional physically, and you have to figure out your life afterwards, and you have to find something else you're interested in. And I've set up a foundation for HIV-infected children while I was playing.
I stopped with 31 also due to injury. For the first 2 years, I mean, I didn't struggle, but I was a little bored. Now I'm coaching, so everything set up together.
How hard was it seeing people play tennis but you weren't allowed to?
It was very difficult because as I said, I was not allowed to play tennis. From age 5 to age 13, I was just ball boying for people. And then I would play tennis with a piece of wood or with a dustpan or just with the palm of my hand against the wall. But this was out of the tennis club. When I was 12, one guy who I was ball boying for, he gave me my first racket. And the day after, this friend of mine asked me, "Mansour, let's go play tennis." This was a very hot day. It was like 42, 43 degrees. We had 13 courts there, and all the courts were empty. At 1 in the afternoon, I went to play there, and we played for like 1 minute and a half. And I saw myself surrounded by the guards, and one of the guards stopped me, and he took me 6-7 times above his head, and he smashed me on the ground. I was bleeding all over my head and everything. I thought I was gonna die. He went towards my racket, and I begged him, I said, please, don't touch my racket. And he took my racket, he put it on the step, and he stepped on it, broke it in half. That was how frustrating it was.